It's no one.
Welcome back to 3 Sport, and here it is, the winning car from Wellington in the 1-hour GT Enduro race as they line up in Pukekohe for the second round of the Nissan Mobil 500 series. One of the biggest fields, as you can see here, and plenty of great cars to watch out for, led off by those Porsches.
Yep, well, 34 cars in the field, in fact. Great turnout and a real mixed bag. Behind the Porsches, some big classic American heavy metal machinery, V8 Mustangs and Camaros, plus, of course, there's the Ferrari.
The Grand Touring Car Race, the GT Enduro, was proudly presented by Allied Movers in association with Pacifica Shipping and AMP. So just about set for a start now. Huge field, big crowd in the sun. All set for some more hot action trackside of the Nissan Mobil 500. And do they get the green light? Watch out for Ralph Callender's in the start. And that Porsche RSR. And they're away.
Well, actually, he didn't get a great start. Ralph Callender's almost bogged it down, and his teammate Craig Simmons loomed up alongside, but then finally the old power kicked in and the German got away. So it is Callender's out in front of Craig Simmons, the Kiwi, brought home from Britain to drive the second car with Bill Fulford.
And in this field, you've got everything from Porsches right through to Nissans, Triumphs, the Pulsars, a few Datsuns in there too as you take a look here. Look at that. Car number 14, and that's the Paul Clemens, David Long, Brown Bus Company, Datsun 260Z.
Well, I'm glad you told us the Brown Bus Company. I thought you were going to say it's the Brown Bus. There's just about everything else in there, mate.
But look at the distance from the back markers right up to the front markers, as you can see there, almost the length of the back straight. So a huge field, 34. And once again, as Darrell Eastlake said last year, Porsche, 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 Porsche.
Well, there's somebody out there trying to change that, because Kenny Smith and Stu McCondack share, oh, hello, problems already for the number 17 car of Matthias Hertzke. Just a little bit of an off there.
Another one of the, well, it's a bad start for the Datsuns, isn't it, really?
Yeah, 2 of them off so far.
Well, one down the back of the field, and this one now joins them with that spin coming out of the hairpin.
So back up front, the man of the moment, Ralph Callender's, the German ADAC GT Cup champion, and of course race winner in Wellington last week of this Allied Movers race with Owen Evans, the guy who was the Wellington champ a year ago.
Yes, they certainly are a champion team, and they've got off to what can only be a champion start, as you see the sister car in the background there, and that's the Bill Fulford and the Craig Simmons Porsche. So they're doing 1-2 at this stage, followed by the other Porsche of Matthias and Murphy, the black one.
Yeah, good job there, but also notice looming up there, trying to change this Porsche grab on this race, the Ferrari of Kenny Smith and Stu McCondack. Now, Kenny had an uncustomary oopsie in Wellington where he hit the chicane and flew sideways, did quite a bit of damage to the suspension on the Ferrari and to the motor, but the guys have got it rebuilt. Stu told Kenny, you guys reckon you're clever at setting the car up, off you go and do it. Well, in the untimed testing last night, before this race, they actually dropped a second and a half off their best lap. So these guys are more in contention. Unfortunately, they started back in 6th, a little too far back to challenge the Porsches.
Well, they've been talking all throughout the build-up for the series that they really wanted to get that Ferrari out there and push the Porsches. But as you can see, well, they may be doing that. Take a look at the top 5. Evans, Fulford, Matthias, Kondak and McElroy in the other Porsche. But that Ferrari has got amongst the Porsches in the top 5.
Well, you can see he's actually improved since that scoreboard even. Just as we were watching the hairpin, Kenny Smith pushing on through past Greg Murphy's black Porsche, which is the RS Carrera from last year's Wellington race, one of the front runners, which Gray Matthias now owns.
And check this out, it hasn't taken long for the leader to start lapping the back markers, going past the Alfa there of car number 42, the David Newsham Alfa Romeo. And look at that, Ralph Callender's has got that Porsche RSR wound up and purring sweetly.
Yeah, she's a really beautiful machine, this one, that is for sure. It's the same car that Callender's won the German GT Cup in this year, so the Kiwis secured it, brought it over here as soon as the German series was over. But is this ever a fast machine? faster around the Pukekohe layout in practice and qualifying than the Super Touring cars. Unbelievable.
Doing times of what, around about the 61 mark, is it?
Yeah, high 61s, which is pretty sensational. The nearest anybody could get to him was his teammate Craig Simmers in the sister car, now running second, 63.2, so way off the pace compared to this rocket ship.
Yeah, and they certainly look the picture too, don't they? Look at that. Great looking machine with the lights ablaze. And charging his way up through the field of the GT 1 hour enduro race, where they have the pit stop, change drivers. So it does become a battle of team and tactics later on.
And it's two of New Zealand's leading single-seater drivers fighting it out here as they head down towards the hairpin. That's Greg Murphy in the black Porsche on the left and Kenny Smith in the Ferrari. And they've been having a great tussle right from the start of this race.
It's the battle for third and fourth. And they're out of the single-seaters now, and they're right into the four-wheel drives. Isn't it amazing, Wayne? I mean, here's Kenny Smith, our great veteran of New Zealand motor racing. 37 years, and this is the first time he's got behind one of the classics, a Ferrari.
It's amazing. I couldn't believe it when he told us that. I mean, the guy, as you say, is racing since he's 17 years of age and done everything you would think. And he said, yeah, no, I've never driven a Ferrari. I'd love to drive this thing. Owned by Stu McCondack. And what he's been doing is playing with the car and trying to get it set up better. And they've definitely succeeded, because to give Murphy a hard time, that's something.
Especially after that classic off down in Wellington where they kissed the concrete through the chicane.
Oh.
Unbelievable stuff.
That great picture from 3 Sport with the car sideways through the air, just like the Nissan flying over the chicane. It's a picture Kenny would rather forget, I can tell you.
Well, he's making sure that Greg Murphy and the Barker's Porsche, the black one just in front, being squeezed in between by some of the slower cars now, is working hard for third and fourth. And no doubt Kenny's really enjoying his drive in the Ferrari. Whoa, a bit of action there. It's one of the Porsches is off, and that's Andrew Bagnall. Whoa, look at that.
Oh, jeez. He just about took out the Allied Movers car that got wiped out at Wellington. Oh.
Not exactly the best driving skills around by car number 2, the Andrew Bagnall Grant Liston Porsche there, the Gulliver's Pacific one, because, man, they lost it coming out of the hairpin as that screams down the front straight, but gave the poor old guy behind him a real fright.
Well, the Allied Movers car had that big smacking. Oh, and
more action there.
Oh, dear. That's the Camaro of Wayne Anderson. Warren Midgley, I don't know which of them at the wheel at the moment. Just a little bit of an off at the hairpin as well.
And 15 minutes down in the 1 hour endurance race. And check this out. It is a real battle for, whoa, Racing Ray Williams in the Triumph TR8. And right behind him, the race leader, Owen Evans. And Ray is not letting Ralph Callanan's and the Owen Evans car get past with Callanan's at the wheel.
Now, he'll be loving this. This car has got some serious grunt, and you can see it gets down the back straight at Pukekohe faster than the RSR. Now, that's saying something, but the problem is keeping it on the island around the corners, and Ray's getting just that little bit tail happy, trying to hold him back from putting him a lap down.
And Ray was telling me down in Wellington that his teammate Carl Hansen from Whangarei, from Kamo, they basically put this together up in the garage back in Whangarei. And check out that Triumph now trying to hold off the lead car. And I tell you what, he is just not going to give way, is he?
No way. Ray said he was going to take this fight to the Porsches. Well, I don't think he meant to lap down. Oh, just a little bit loose there, Ray. Hold on, buddy.
Now look at this, the Porsche trying to duck up the inside as they head up the back straight. And Ray certainly is having a lot of fun with the leader at the moment. I'm not sure if Ralph's having as much fun trying to get past. I mean, you're probably saying, haven't you heard the meaning of the blue flag? Slow car, you know.
I reckon he's decided that discretion's the better part of valor, to stay behind this maniac. Oh, Ray, oh, forgive me for...
Whoa, look at that! Racing Ray Williams, spinning it out wide, coming out of the hairpin. Well, he's not driving like a maniac, but he certainly is putting on a lot of value for money here for the race fans.
great show from Ray Williams. The man's driven a lot of stuff, but most notably one of the Porsches that has been a front runner in the Wellington Street Race Porsche races. Well, just about every year they've run there. And the guy loves to turn on a show. Look at this, holding back Callinas, trying for the outside. Oh, he's lost it. He's thrown it away across the grass, fighting it. Whoa, lucky nobody else is there, Ray. How about that?
One of the most expensive lawnmowers I think you'll find around the Pukekohe circuit today. Just got out of the way of the oncoming traffic too, and now spins the Triumph back into action.
I tell you what, there'll be a very relieved Ralph Callinas that he doesn't have to tackle him anymore.
As you take a look again on the replay, and Racing Ray Williams comes in here, and he knows he's just pushing it a bit too much. Sideways, once, twice, onto the grass 3 times, checks out the oncoming traffic and slips it through. And he'd be saying, oh, thank God for that break of the traffic.
And now here's the action in the pits as the TR7 V8, Ray Williams pulling into pits to change over to Carl Hansen, the team boss.
I thought you were going to say change over the overalls. There's big Carl hopping into the Triumph. His chance to, get this baby back out there on the track. And the team doing a pretty good job with that pit stop. Remember, it's the driver change for the 1-hour enduro.
Big man, big car. This is a classy machine. Unfortunately, not able to put it with the Porsches. Listen to that V8.
Whoa, what a nice motor. Got a new motor. Just coming up past the halfway stage now, and they've had the driver change for the lead car. And it's now the Wellington Street Race winner from this race in the Nissan Mobil 500. And that's Owen Evans, and here's the Alpha Soot that hit the concrete down to Wellington.
What a comeback that is. I can't believe it. That car I thought was had it. The little Alpha Soot there, number 15. If you watched the 3 Sport coverage last week, you would have seen that thing virtually destroy itself when it clipped the chicanes. Look at this. They got it back.
Including the sunroof.
And including the neck brace. The driver's still wearing the brace from the spronging that he got when he whacked the wall so hard.
It's the Lytton Swingborn Alpha Soot. And there is the neck brace. Check that out.
Well,
great to see them back out on the track.
Amazing. That is truly amazing. Oh, more damage here. That's the Mustang of Bruce Anderson and son, Andrew Anderson. They've obviously had a bit of a coming together with somebody else. Nice car, that. These guys have got a bit of a family contest going. We saw the Wayne Anderson car just stepping off the track before. Of course, that's a Chevy Camaro. Brother Bruce has the big Mustang from '69. Bit of a family V8 contest, you know?
Yeah, as they say, some heavy metal American bits. And the Allied Movers Sports and GT race here, the GT Enduro. And some great machines on display. Guys who really love their motor racing and guys who really love their cars. Occasionally, though, they make a bit of a mess of them, but that's no doubt repairable.
Oh, I'm sure it's repairable. Lovely, lovely cars, these 2 Pine Pack machines. They managed to qualify pretty well up, actually, in the top 10, 8th and 9th. Not bad going against these very, very quick Porsches.
And from some of the classic cars further back down to the field to a classic drive by the lead car today. Owen Evans at the wheel of the Carrera RSR, the Porsche. And he's doing it in fine style today. And they've just about lapped everyone on the entire field.
Yeah, fantastic performance from these guys. What a show for this car. And also, of course, you're going to pay credit to the drivers because Owen Evans, very, very talented driver, being pretty much underrated till he won the Wellington race a year ago. Now coming into his own, getting the recognition he deserves. And Ralph Callan as well, he's a star anyway back home in Germany. Super, super team they've put together here.
And you can see just in front of this car, you've got the Peter Lawn, the Carlos Cavallo Zinger team racing Porsche. They've just gone past that. And in front, you'll see the Ferrari.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Being able to just put all of these cars at least 1 lap down, and some of them 2 and 3 and 4 laps behind our race leader.
Oh no, shades of Steve Soper Trouble for the Nissan Pulsar. Up goes the bonnet, just like the BMW down in Wellington. But this time that car is going nowhere, actually, just like Steve Sober's car. Meanwhile, going somewhere out in front.
And going very quickly out in front, Owen Evans. Just about gone by everybody in the whole field at least once by now. And definitely the man heading for the checkered flag.
Coming towards the end of the 1 hour GT Enduro, and for the second week in a row, it's going to be this car. Oh, there's another one.
Oh, no.
That's car 41. That's Murray Fish, Edgar Selweeder in the Datsun 240Z.
Another Nissan missing. No good.
The Nissan missing Mobil 500. No,
yes.
We can't say that. We just did, actually. Meanwhile, back out in front, it's the big push by the Porsches, and this is number 16. It's the Andy McElroy, Ashley Stitchbury sister car to the Lighting Direct team.
Yeah, great to see Bill Fulford from the Lighting Direct team boss giving these young guys, both Formula Fordsters from front-running reputations, both of them, coming into this car and doing a very good job for the second week in a row. Very nice.
Just basically giving the young guys a chance to get out there and drive the Porsche, which is, well, they were rapt about, very excited about. They hadn't driven the car before this series, and they're doing a pretty neat job of it too.
Well, of course, Andy McElroy now driving for the Auto News team in the Trans Am races. So big Chev Kamara that he drives in that. And, of course, Ashley Stitchbury in action in the touring cars in one of the Alfa Romeos. So these guys getting quite a bit of experience now.
And in the top four here in the GT Enduro. Coming down towards the end of the race now. 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes to lap up that experience in the Porsche RS.
Yes, because, of course, this race, not a lap race at all. It's a 60-minute race, the Allied Movers GT Enduro. 60 minutes, the same as Wellington. So the clock is on, and it's counting down for this man, Owen Evans, in the number 11 Porsche Carrera RSR.
Got slightly more power than the other Porsches in the field, so he's got that situation well under control. You can have the some good Porsches, but I've got the fastest one.
Yeah, well, there's been quite a flow of these cars out of Europe, RSs and two RSRs, which are the same as this car and the sister car that Bill Fulford and Craig Simmis have been driving into second place. And I think about 7 or 8 now Porsche Carrera RSs, which is the car that Owen won in Wellington last year.
And you've got to hand it to the team because they really have put together a great package over the last couple of years. They look smart, they look and act and drive very professional, and it really has been once again another top performance by the Lighting Direct team.
Yep, Bill Fulford says it's probably the most expensive habit he's ever had in his life, but he's absolutely hooked on it.
And here he is coming up. He looks like he's just about to lap again the Matthias Murphy Porsche, which is running in third spot.
Incredible, isn't it? So only his teammate, actually he's going to put him 2 laps down if he goes by in the next lap or so. So we're in the last laps of the race now, and definitely looks like the grey Matthias Greg Murphy car going to take a drop, another lap down as Owen Evans come by down the front straight at Pukekohe. No problem whatsoever as he just flips past him.
So they're into the last lap now, and it's been a 1 hour enduro for both of the drivers in the team. Of course, one guy cannot do more than 40 minutes, and as you can see, it's Owen Evans who's now taking the car to victory down the back straight here at Pukekohe.
Well, it's really good to see this guy doing so well. He's driving in the Alfa Romeo team at the moment. He has, as we said before, finally getting some recognition as being a very, very good driver, one of the best in New Zealand.
And they've had no luck in the Alphas so far putting that new package together, so he's really been enjoying his drivers once again in the Porsches and doing it in fine style. So up and over, down under Dunlop for the last time. Up and over the top of Mobil Mountain, and it's Owen Evans coming down to take the checkered flag to win the GT Enduro, the Allied Movers GT Enduro, and that's a great win for the team that picked up the double after winning the first leg down in Wellington. Now they've picked up the second leg here at Pukekohe as well.
We said it was another easy Sunday drive, but I'm sure it's not like that when you have to deal with this much traffic, 34 starters, and they've got a very big speed differential between the fastest and slowest. Here comes the second place car, the sister car with Bill Fulford at the wheel now. Shared it with Craig Simmis, the Kiwi living in Britain, and they've fine second place for these guys.
So it's the team boss, the team owner, and that's a great way to get the 1-2 for the Lighting Direct team. And coming home in third spot, it should be the black Porsche, and that's the Matthias Murphy car, which used to be one of their old cars.
Yep, Gray Matthias bought the car from the team, and that's one of the RS Carreras that is now going to be making up a very competitive second level of this scene.
The Grand Touring Car Race, the GT Enduro, was proudly presented by Allied Movers in association with Pacifica Shipping and AMP. So just confirming the result of the GT Enduro, a top drive once again by Callaners and Evans, Simmis and Fulford second, Matthias and Murphy third, McElroy and Stitchbury coming home in fourth, and a bit of a triumph for the Hanson Ray Williams team too. The triumph, the first of the non-Porsches home, rounding out the top five. Plenty of action still to come though. It's the second race in the 2 litres.